Welcome to Elite Tomb of the Shadow Knight. I noticed something that I thought was interesting this level, and that is my elite streak is up to 115. I didn't have an elite streak going into this life, so that's all from this life. And on my beginner's guide, which was a first lifer to this build, and then my favorite soul evoker true first life series, it took me about 100 quests to get to level 20. And here I am at 115, and I'm at level 10. Obviously, these are different quests, and obviously it takes a lot more XP for a multi-lifer to get to 20 than it does a first lifer, but I just thought it was interesting to actually compare the number of quests, which I hadn't done before. So, gear. This is always such a painful level for me because by the time I get to 10, I'm usually kissing 11, and then 11 you get your green steel, and you just want to rush and get your green steel and rub it all over yourself and roll around in it because green steel is awesome. If you are not a green steel, if you don't have any green steel or you're newer or you don't know what it is, it comes from the shroud. It's the stuff you craft from the shroud, or maybe you've been playing a while and you just for whatever reason have avoided it. There are quite a few people out there like that. Green steel is so awesome if you like the TR. It's one of the most gratifying things at level 11 to put on your green steel gear, and then at level 12 to be able to equip your green steel weapons. So, highly recommend looking into green steel. I plan on making a green steel crafting example video. I'm going to go over the planner and everything, but I'm still waiting on a shard on Sporty Spice. I need to craft her a cloak, but I can't get a great shard. I haven't been making it a priority to get it, but I'll get it soon enough. So, resistance 5 on the goggles. Still got the frozen tunic. This is definitely not optimal. I should have um, the next tier. Yeah, which with a masterful craftsmanship would be level 10. But I know I'm going to be using. I've got some twink armor lined up for level 12 anyways, so I'm not really worried about it. Still braces the wind, same as last video. Ring of Greater False Life. I probably, it would be more optimal to have something crafted onto that as a prefix, like even just like a, Devotion 30 or something simple. But I just don't care enough to bother. Boots of Fire Absorption 33% with a yellow slot, feather falling. That's the same as last level. Ogre Power plus 6 gloves are the same. Same thing with the Ring of Heavy Fort. It would be more optimal to craft something simple onto there, but I know that I'm replacing this next level with a green steel item that has heavy fortification on it, so not too worried about that. Health plus 6 belt with a large gem of power giving me 60 extra spell points. It's only 60 because 20 of it doesn't stack with the new ship buffs. It says 80, but it's a net gain of 60. Cloak of Flames is the same. Vibrant Purple Ioun Stone. Evocation Focus 2 of Melee Alacrity 10%. And then the Helm of the Moron. Got the shield up to plus 4 now. Heavy Darkwood Shield of Invulnerability. And this is a neat little toy that I found. Actually, Gildy found and gave it to me after the Menace of the Underdark pack came out. They added a lot of new random generated loot to the tables back then, and it was some really great stuff, like spellproofing items and just all kinds of neat suffixes and prefixes, and it's just, most of it's been taken out, and our loot tables are so lame these days. I mean, when you get to like armor, there are literally about 3 different things that can appear on armor these days. You've got energy proof, you've got flurry, and you've got riposte. There might be like one more, and it's just ridiculous. And I thought that would get changed, and it's been that way for, seems like at least a year. In any event, this is a Knight's Grasp Flame-Touched Iron Sickle of Lacerating, which I have put Festival Frost onto just to add gravy on top of it. Flame-Touched Iron, so it's good flagged damage. Negative energy spike does 2 to 12 extra negative energy damage on a hit. Maldroit does -1 dexterity on a hit, not just a crit. This is every hit the mob gets -1 dexterity, and then lacerating with the slicing and bleeding on top of all of that. So pretty cool little toy. It's not optimal, but it's a fun little toy for me to play with, and I'll just use that for level 10 and 11 until I get my green steel scimitar, my lightning 2 scimitar at level 12. Moving on to the pet. Still got the hide armor, which I have up to 2 + 4 of invulnerability. That gave me a little bit more PRR, and I got this hide blank out of the armor, weapon and armor shop in the harbor. And then still using the same +2 acid burst collar of lacerating, which I have put Festival Frost on. I haven't gone over the wolf enhancements, so just real quick, got up to Cunning Wolf 3 right now, Wolf Instincts 4, that helps saving against traps. Lupine Onslaught, that's definitely a priority, that gives a 10% bonus to attack speed. Wolfpack Bite is definitely a priority, that affects their damage to their sneak attacks. Got Rage going on. Ooh, that reminds me. Gotta bring this down here. But the wolf, that's interesting because I hadn't pulled that down there, but I've been seeing the wolf rage, so maybe you don't have to do that. I guess that's just so that you can manually toggle it. I was under the impression that you'd have to drag it there for them to use it in the first place on their own. And then Striding 3, I like to have a wolf that can get around really fast. Working on flanking, because flanking is a prerequisite for, I believe it's the evasion. It's a prerequisite for something. Enhancements. Oops. So I need one more action point to get greater heroism. I got heroism right now, so I won't be able to get that till next level because I have as many action points as I can have for being level 10. In fact, I'm already well into level 11, and I haven't. This is my first Necro 2 quest, and then I have to do the level 8 parts of Sorrow Dusk. So I'm probably going to have to take 11 and then finish up my 8s. We'll see. It'll be close. But this hasn't changed here. I've just been working on it over here. Up to 20 extra % positive healing amplification. I did notice something. I can't remember if I mentioned this in an earlier video, but I guess I just quickly read this when this new enhancement tree came out, and then I just noticed again a few days ago. I knew this extended the range of unconsciousness by 20 hit points, which is awesome, but I had misread the next part, which it says you gain +10 PRR while you are under 50% health. That's pretty cool. I had misread it before and thought it was you gain that PRR when you're unconscious, but getting it below 50% is pretty neat. And then I also have, when I'm below 50%, the Shard Archai automatic activation thingy. When it says you're below 50% hit points, you get hit by an attack, you get 25% incorporeality for 6 seconds per stack of this past life. So we're up to 18 seconds now with 3 stacks, and that can trigger on its own once every 2 minutes. So it's pretty cool to have that little extra protection when you get low. For spells, I just picked up Reincarnation. I've been doing quite a bit of, a little bit of pugging, so it's nice to have a way to raise people that I can really count on, because right now I only got a 10% chance to use Raised Dead Scrolls. Actually, that's a little bit higher. If I put Eagle Splendor and Heroism on, it's up to 30%, but still it's not a really good percentage. And then also took my first Cure spell, Cure Serious Wounds, so when I need a bigger burst of healing I can hit that, but still primary healing is Cure Serious Wounds pots at this point for me. So this is the Necro 2 quest that has tons of traps. Generally people don't want to come in here unless they got a trapper, but I thought it'd be fun to see how I do against the traps. I've definitely done this before without a trapper. It can be done. I was going to leave the the pet away, but then I thought, let's see how long he survives. The negative energy on here is actually going to heal these undead, but doesn't really matter. It's not like I'm doing much melee damage anyways. I'm going to clear as much of this area out as I can. Using AoEs to wipe out big groups just to be as efficient as possible. Kiting until get a high dungeon alert. Hey, there's a red dungeon alert. See if I can go a little bit further. Having the wolf out can make it more challenging to kite mobs because the wolf often wants to just hang back and fight stuff. But I'm going to put it on passive for now. The wolf is about to die. Hey, he lived. I don't remember where all the traps are, so there may be one right here for all I know. We're going to find out what happens. I haven't done this quest in about 6 months. The last time I would have done it, I don't normally do Necro 2. I know what you're thinking. You're crazy. But I just, I don't particularly enjoy the Necro Undead theme. And that's just a personal preference. So I typically will only do these if I'm going for like max favor. And since this is a final life, and I use that term loosely, I definitely want to go for max favor on this tune. So we're doing everything. As I mentioned in an earlier video, the only thing I'm skipping as I'm leveling are the quests that can be done in Epic, because I'll get the first time bonus when I'm doing Epic levels. Why isn't this stuff dying? Maybe it will like Ice Storm instead. Maybe the firewall was in a quirky position. Sometimes that happens and it doesn't want to hurt the mobs. There. So anything that can be done on Epic, I have been skipping that, so I'll get the first time bonus in Epic levels. Other than that, I've done everything on Elite at level. And then, like I said earlier, I still gotta do the 2 Sorrow Dusk at this level, and then the rest of Necro 2. And that'll be it for the 8s. Snarl is out of range. Where are you going? Seriously? Noticing some really quirky stuff lately with spells. That was fun. Yeah, just stand there, Snarl. If my spells fail due to like not facing or for some other quirky reason, if I continue to mash the button for that spell, I can get it. And let's say that it fails, or for whatever reason, and then it goes on cooldown. If I continue to mash the button for that spell, I can get it to cast before it visually comes off a cooldown. You know, you can see in your shortcut bar, you know, the little shady clock that goes around telling you that it's on cooldown. I'm getting it to go off before that, so really kind of quirky thing. I don't know if maybe they're trying to play with the mechanics of spell failure, and this is some sort of remnant of that that's not supposed to be here. Who knows? Could be anything. I'm not trying to tell you how to do an exploit. I don't think it's an exploit. I think it's just this quirky game. Okay. Big traps there. Pretty sure this one's trapped. I better heal myself before I open that. There's the key I need. Yep. I've been trying to post a lot more sort of low base stuff on the auction house. Doing that true first lifer has really sensitized me, resensitized me to you know, being a noob and needing simple things that you know, sometimes are hard to find in the auction house, and if that's just like a belt to false life 10 or stuff like that. Plus, I know that right now, since Arlona is the default server, we have an influx of noobs, so that's another reason why I'm trying to post a lot of stuff on the auction house that I wouldn't otherwise post. You know, I would just decon it. Getting a little slim on the mana right now. So I'm pretty proud of myself. I soloed Elite at level Pit for the first time. That was a quest that I have dreaded for a long time, and it was basically the last quest for me to learn. And I actually went in there like a year ago and tried to learn it, and I spent a half an hour in there, and I couldn't even really figure out what to do. Like, I did one objective in a half an hour, and I just run around, could not find anything else to do. So I said screw it, and then when I'm level 9 now this life, I've been looking for a pit group, hoping to find a guide. I even posted for a guide one time, but nothing. And then it was like the last quest I needed, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to go back in there and finally learn it. And I spent an hour and 15 minutes in that damn quest, but you know, I feel pretty good about it. I don't feel like I'm competent enough to lead others through it well, but you know, I feel pretty good about, you know, just going in there solo it, probably knock it out in half hour, 45 minutes next time. Okay, we got some big traps here, so let's... Well, after we kill this stuff, we'll park the dog. Alright. It's a friendly place. Dart traps, we don't even worry about that. It's kid stuff. Flame traps, no sweat. When you got boots of absorption 33% and ship buff. And hit points. And some absorption from past lives too. What is my resistance up to? Oh, I don't have much going on in terms of resistance right now. I don't have the big ship buffs, the old ones, the old school ones. We have those in our cargo bay, but I don't even bother with them because you get the absorption from the new ones. So this is just basically from past lives. I think that's from the frozen tunic, the extra 10 there. Armor class is up to 55. Not too bad for level 10. Actually, it's pretty good for level 10. Especially considering I'm wearing a robe. But that's from all the martial epic past lives. Oh, I think I skipped an altar. No, maybe not. Okay, I've tried to use Scrolls of True Seeing 3 times, and I have rolled 2 ones out of 3 tries. That is ridiculous. My ignorance of this quest is really showing. Feel free to laugh at me. Running around and around and around trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go next. Hey, there's a door that opens. Traps down some of these, I don't remember which ones. I guess we're about to find out. been pugging a lot this life, and I haven't done low-level content in a while, probably like 6 months. And you know, like I said, we have a lot of new people in Sarlona, and I don't know if that's the reason or what, but I've noticed a lot of people are joining my groups and just bringing out hirelings without even asking, which I feel like is kind of rude. You know, if you join somebody else's group and you don't know them, you know, and you want to bring out a hireling, just ask them, you know. And because when you bring out a hireling, you know, you're filling up a spot that could be filled with somebody who's, you know, an active player, and you're also scaling the dungeon as well. So these are some things to consider. I think it's courteous to ask before bringing out a hireling if it's not your own group. And I feel like usually people did that, but lately, and it just could be the luck I'm getting, lately people are just pulling them out. And in my specific case, you know, I always tell people, you know, like, I'll keep you healed. I'm a healer. I don't mind healing people. Number of breakables in this quest is pretty sick. Look at that one hiding way over there. That's garbage. That's right, we laugh in the face of danger. Been hosting holiday games every day from Christmas through New Year's Day. We've just been doing games of hide and seek and trivia in the harbor. I did it last year too, and sometimes I do like that stuff on other times. I did a Halloween one this year. I always have lots of fun when I do that. But big thanks and props to Fire Goddess, who donated just a ton of stuff, and that's on Sarlona, to the games. He just saw that I was doing the event in the harbor, and he's like, "Hey, can I give you some stuff to give out?" And he gave me like 40 items. And some really good stuff too, like elite and epic elite stuff. It wasn't just a bunch of trash. So big thanks to Fire Goddess. That was awesome. Hmm. I missed something. I missed a key. Maybe it's here? Oh, look at that. Sneaky, sneaky. So here, notice that lever up here. We're going to have to hit that with a ranged weapon. Okay. Ranged weapon. On the other, you need to be on this side of this gate. I remember one thing or two about this quest. It's hard to see with that lightning. Come on, that was a bullseye. That's garbage. Doesn't get any closer than that. There we go. I think if you try to go around, there are other traps. Oh, maybe not. Just when I was getting cocky about this quest. Okay, you know, it is really good to have a trapper in here too, because huge bonus XP for that. Well, here's the main dude. Let's just take him back to the center because we want his chests anyways. Woot! Hey, thanks for watching me make a fool out of myself and display my ignorance in this quest. If you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube. And if you have questions about my build, you can respond in the DDO forums, in the Druid forums. And if you happen to be on Saralona, you are welcome to send me a tell and say hi. Or you can ask me questions on Saralona as well.